everybody, my name is Brittany and welcome back to my channel. So today is Bookmas Day 3. I am wearing an old ratty, very ratty, but yet extremely comfortable sweatshirt today. And of course I have my elf hat on. And in honor of Bookmas, I have a traditional Christmas drink. I have eggnog here. And yeah, I love eggnog. We drink a lot of it here around Christmas time, so I have it here to enjoy with you guys. So right, so today I have a video for you guys. This is going to be my YA bookish gift guide. So before we get into this, just a little bit of note. This gift guide is a 3-part series. I have already done the middle grade part for the gift guide, which was Bookmas Day 2. So if you haven't watched that, please go and do so, and then come back and watch this video. And the next part of my gift guide will be, of course, my adult bookish gift guide. So these things are things that I kind of try to, many of these things are good for all ages, but I do try to kind of tailor them to the age category that I'm looking at. And these are just my opinions, my suggestions for things that you may want to give your reader, the reader in your life, for Bookmas or Christmas. So okay, yeah, let's just get into it. So the first thing on my bookish gift guide for YA readers is, of course, a new book. Now, hear me out. A new fantasy book. There are so many incredible YA fantasy stories. Beautiful stories, and I feel like contemporary seems to get all the love right now, and I don't get it. You know, I don't like contemporary, so for me, but getting the YA reader in your life a new fantasy book, a new YA fantasy, could be just the thing to sort of pull them out of this contemporary rut that people seem to have fallen into, and to give them something imaginative and fun, and, you know, just something nice to pass the time during this time of, you know, the world situation right now. So I think it's very important. A lot of people need a fantasy escape, and what better way to celebrate Bookmas than to give the reader in your life a fantasy escape book, YA fantasy. There are a ton of incredible YA fantasies out there. I will link a few of my favorites down below, so that if you don't know kind of what your reader likes, or if they're very much a contemporary reader, they don't read much fantasy, or even if they read, you know, something else, some other genre like horror or sci-fi or romance even. I don't know of too many YA romances, but that's beside the point. Point is, if they read other genres other than fantasy, this might give you some insight and might help you to pick a book, a fantasy book, to give them that they may fall in love with. And I'm hoping that they do, because to me, fantasy as a genre doesn't get nearly enough love. So, moving forward. Okay, the next thing on my YA bookish gift guide is this gorgeous, well, is a bookish blanket. So I'm going to link below. There's this gorgeous one from Redbubble, has all kinds of book covers, specifically fantasy book covers on it. It is incredible. There are many other ones out there. If your book lover loves fantasy, if they're part of a fandom, like for example Harry Potter or Six of Crows or any or Lord of the Rings, if you buy them a blanket, a cozy blanket with something on it from that fandom, that is a fantastic gift that they can cuddle up with and have in their reading nook or have in their favorite chair, where they can curl up for their next great read. So the next thing that is on my YA Bookish gift guide is scented candles. Now, I didn't put this on the middle grade gift guide because many middle grade readers they're still very young and they're not necessarily mature enough in terms of like fire safety and things like that, to have a candle burning like on their own, to be on their own with a candle burning while reading. But many YA readers, teen readers, are in fact mature enough to handle that, and so that is why it is on this list. Definitely scented candles are an incredible gift, especially if you can kind of pair the scent. So for example, there is, I forget what they're called, I'll find them and link them below, but it's a company that makes bookish scented candles for different fandoms. So for example, they have Six of Crow themed scented candles, they have Harry Potter themed scented candles, they have the Red Queen themed scented candles, they have the Selection series themed scented candles. They have like pretty much any YA fantasy or sci-fi fandom that you can think of, they have a scented candle for. And to buy someone a new great fantasy read with a scented candle for your YA reader to burn, to have the smell. Smell is one of the only senses that goes directly to memory. That's why it bypasses the filter in your brain that all the other senses have to go through in order to reach your memories. So that's why smell invokes memory in such an incredibly huge way. And so having a scented candle burning that will create a smell that you can then associate with the experience of reading that book is really a powerful, very powerful experience. And it's definitely something that I would recommend for the YA reader in your life. Okay, next up we have bookish what are they called again? I'm trying to think. Book caddy. That's what they're called. Book caddy. A book caddy is something that I would highly recommend for the YA reader in your life. Oftentimes they are mature enough to be able to read in different places, like for example in the bathtub. You know, you don't have to worry that they're gonna get, you know, upset and throw the book in the water or something awful, you know, and so reading in the tub, the book caddy is one way to allow someone to do this. And it's just this thing, it stretches across the bathtub, and it can hold a nice drink, it can hold some bubble bath. If you have bubble bath, you want to put a thing of bubble bath on there. It can hold your phone, keep it safe from falling in the water. It can hold your book, which is just an amazing invention, and I really do highly recommend it for the YA reader in your life. If you want them to spend some more time reading and less time maybe you know, with the world situation right now, I know it's difficult for some people to not be around their friends and family as much. So if, you know, if maybe the YA teen in the YA reader, the teen in your life may, not necessarily a teen, adults can be YA readers too. I'm an adult. But the point is, though, is that it's, if you have a teen in your life who is struggling with the concept of staying home, perhaps just relaxing in the tub for a while with a good read may be just what they need to just kind of escape for a while without actually leaving the house. So definitely, but even otherwise, you know, sometimes, you know, YA readers, they might be working. They might come home after a stressful day. Maybe a bath is the way that they like to unwind. Definitely reading in the bath can certainly add to the relaxation of that whole experience. So definitely a book bath caddy is something, if your YA reader is into baths, or you would like them to be into baths, it's definitely something that that I would recommend for the YA reader in your life, for sure, for sure. Okay, next up is a set of Fandom playing cards. I love cards. My grandfather taught me how to play cards. If you want to hear more about that, you can go and watch the original TBR game that I made in honor of my grandpa who passed away. But definitely there are many different YA fantasy fandoms that create playing cards with the characters and things on it from that fandom. So this can be an amazing gift, you know, for playing cards, you know, inside safely, playing cards with, you know, with family, is definitely something that that can pass the time, and it can be a lot of fun. You know, I would ask you to think about it. When was the last time that you actually sat down with the people who you live with and just had a friendly game of cards? It's definitely a group activity, but it can also be a solo activity. Solitaire, and definitely having cards that are specific to the book fandom that you're a part of can really not only add to the experience of playing cards, but also can work as a conversation piece in helping to kind of stimulate conversation over the card game. You know, where did you get these cards? Why did you choose these ones? Yada, yada, yada. Okay, moving right along. The next thing that I would recommend for the YA reader in your life, and this is the one thing that is going to be common between all three videos, because they are just so amazing and I just cannot recommend them enough, and that is reading socks. If you want to know more about reading socks, you can go and watch my middle grade recommendations video. They also have great reading socks for teens and for adults as well. So that's all I'm going to say about that. If you want to know more about those, go and watch my middle grade recommendations video. Okay, moving right along. The next thing that I would recommend for the YA reader in your life is a new bookish mug. Definitely curling up under a blanket with a hot drink is something that many YA readers love to do, especially in the wintertime. And it's just a beautiful thing, especially if the YA reader in your life is too young to drink alcohol, or they don't want to drink alcohol. Me, I'm old enough to drink alcohol. I just choose not to. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't like the taste of it. Never have. So that's something to consider too. If for whatever reason the YA reader in your life isn't into drinking alcohol, or they're too young to drink alcohol, a nice new mug that they can pour a hot tea or hot chocolate to help them warm up in the winter is a beautiful gift, especially if it has a design on it that is bookish or from the bookish fandom that they love. That is a really, really great gift. And that's going to be it for my YA Bookish gift guide. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Bookmas Day 4. Bye!